Hello, good afternoon, everybody, to a special Sunday edition of No Holds Barred Wrestling Podcast. I'm Bobby Melendez, joined by my tag team partner, Josh Kimmel. Josh, my brother, how are you?
Man, I'm feeling good after coming after a Saturday night main event. What a show. I think it was a pretty good show. And I'm excited to talk about it with you. We haven't talked wrestling, I feel like, in 2 weeks because last week, of course, we talked old school wrestling and old pay per view. Go back and watch that if you're interested in 1998 Halloween Havoc. But we haven't talked current day storylines in about 2 weeks. So I'm excited to get into the show.
Absolutely, man. Yeah,
How about yourself? How about you, Bobby? In the pre show, you asked me all these things I forgot. How's your family? How are you guys doing over there? How's the kids?
everyone's good, man. We're doing all right. Kids are good. Just celebrated my son's eighth birthday, right? Yeah, eight now. And so, my brain is kind of fried, but yeah, he's 8 years old. We celebrated that. We got him a telescope, a big one, because he loves space. Of course, now, of course, the skies aren't clear, which is frustrating. So we got to kind of wait it out. But he loves space. He loves astronomy, and and he loves tornadoes and shit like that. So I got him that, and I'm excited about that. Other than that, everything else has been good, man. FTSN continues to grow. You know that. Obviously, with Fantasy Now Plus, you guys are getting bigger, and to kind of attack that and grow with that. FTSN now has a new channel, a sister channel that we will be starting up called FTSN Extra. It's there. It's made. FTSN Extra. It's attached to the FTSN YouTube page. So guys, check that out. Go subscribe. We're going to have everything that you see on FTSN plus more. You got NFL, college, basketball, wrestling, fantasy football. We've got it all. Fantasy sports. We've got it all on FTSN Extra. Of course, you'll see Josh Kimmel there. You'll see myself. You'll see Finstanza, Dahl. We'll have Q from the I Hate Football podcast joining the family shortly. Got all the guys from Fantasy Now. I'm very excited about that. We still have the FTSN channel, which continues to grow and do great, which I'm excited about. But man, it's like we're getting so many other. We've got so much content flowing through the channel. And it's like I was like, okay, I got to do another one. And I started thinking, and I'm started throwing in. I'm talking to our buddy Wingate. I'm talking to Tati and talking to Josh here, and I'm throwing it out there. And I said, you know what? Everybody had great points. Hey, what about this? What about that? But I was like, you know what? Fucking doing it. Just like I did FTC. I'm just going to do it. And I'm just going to go full steam ahead. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited about that. And of course, everything starts going, Josh, in my head. I start going, well, what if we did a Spanish channel, FTSN in Espanol? So it's like I start doing it, just growing, dude. So I'm doing fine, man. My head is flowing with ideas, but I'm ready to talk pro wrestling. Saturday night main event last night. It was a good show. It was a decent show. It was one of the better ones. I know some people may have been disappointed with some short matches. There was an ugly match. For sure. We will talk about that. And it's two people that I really like, but it was enough for me. Okay, you need to lose the belt soon. That was not a good showing. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, let's get into it, brother. What do you want to talk about first?
Well, let's talk about the first match. Tag team match opens up with CM Punk, Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins and Bron Breakker. And, they have a really good match, back and forth match, entertaining match. What you would expect from these four guys. Nothing to write home about, nothing crazy. The big story is what happened post-match, the end of the match, the third man. It's so funny. I'm sitting next to my buddy Danny. I actually traveled to a friend's house to watch this. And he's like, so who's the third man, brother? And he's because, he knows he does this and he knows I'm into it. And I'm like, I don't think it's going to be anybody, but if it is somebody, watch out for Bronson Reed. I don't want it to happen. Just look out for him. He might be showing up very soon. Probably not tonight. And then
there he comes.
20 minutes later, here's Bronson Reed. And Danny, who's a casual fan, goes, I forgot all about him. And I said, that's why it worked.
That's right.
That's why it worked. Because nobody expected it last night. So I thought it was good. I didn't want it to. It's one of those things where I don't want it to happen. And when it happens, it worked out. Or at least it worked out in that moment. So let's see what they can do from here. I like the fact that Braun and Bronson possibly have some tension down the road as I'm the big man. No, I'm the big man. That's going to be cool to see them trying to win their approval of Seth Rollins. That's what I think that's going to happen. But I'm into it.
So, first off, Cap, what is up, my man? I will say, I have not seen anything about Bronson Reed getting any type of disciplinary action or released for hurting CM Punk. I did notice though in that attack that it looked like that CM Punk was hurt because CM Punk was on his knees and he went and splashed him from behind, and it was very ugly, and he looked really hurt. So I noticed that, but I have not seen anything about Bronson Reed getting disciplined. I thought it was a decent match. It was fun. Why wouldn't it be? These four guys are great at what they do. They're exciting. They're entertaining. But I think that we talked about this, if not the week before, the week before that, because last week we touched on Halloween Havoc. Maybe we did. Maybe we talked a little bit about this. I'm not sure, but I know we talked about who the third guy was going to be, and it was for me. I was like, man, it's Bronson Reed. It has to be Bronson Reed. I mean, and you brought up great points. Like, first off, the Seth Rollins feud that just occurred before he got hurt, which was ugly. I mean, ugly in a way of the fighting and the hate that these two had. It made sense not to happen, but of course, and then you had, of course, you already have Bron Breakker. Now you got Bronson Reed.
Right.
That's why, for you, if I remember, that's why you were like, I don't know if that's the point. That should be the guy. A lot of people thought maybe Sami Zayn, but I was like, man, the more I thought about him and I talked to you about it, was like, man, it has to be Bronson Reed. I mean, you got to create a group that's absolutely killer. And right now, as long as Bronson Reed doesn't get released, which I haven't heard, but Cap is talking about it, that could be the most dangerous group in WWE for a while, since Bloodline, because you think about it, Seth Rollins, one of the greatest out there on the mic, in the ring, everything he does. Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed, the future of WWE. This is evolution. This is another form of evolution. You got Paul Heyman representing, the past. I mean, obviously he's not Ric Flair, but there. Then you got the current with Triple H, Seth Rollins, and you got Batista and Randy Orton standing right there, and Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed, and I absolutely love it. What's up, Nick? My brother Nick in the house. Pick up my calls, fool. Oh, I can't pick it up now. I don't know. You're not calling me, but you probably, life, man, life, kids, everything else, bro. But yeah, Nick is the one right now currently training to wrestle. Josh,
Nice.
he's been training right now. He's been training with Gangrel in South Florida, and
Right on.
Yeah, man. So he's been killing it. Talked about it weeks ago with Reed. Yeah, man. But I loved it. I love it. And as you see, we got something new trying out here from StreamYard. We got the comments on the stage. So on the screen here. So you guys could see the comments and we could see it. Well, it's a little bit to me. I still see the main one, but still it's cool to kind of see as we're going here. Now, just remember though, sometimes kids watch, so we could have fun and, we let a few slip, but especially those in the comments, but let's kind of keep it a little bit family friendly in regards of what we discuss here on the FTSN channel. But man, I was happy with it. And let me tell you, I can understand some people going, man, it just doesn't make sense. Blah, blah. But think about the potential of this group. Now this group feels like, who else would you like? Is there anybody else you could have put in that spot and you would have felt good with? Anybody right now?
To me, no, because it makes everybody wanted it. It was such a big impact. That's what mattered.
Yep.
What he did. So you could have put, I wanted Kaiser. Kaiser didn't make sense. It wasn't even being talked about, but I thought it was a good fit. He's a good heel. He's tall. He's skinny. He's thin. I'm like, oh, he's a good fit. He's a cocky guy. But anyway, it depends on how you debuted him. Bronson Reed came out of nowhere, put someone through the damn barricade, and then real life injured CM Punk. That spot was by far CM Punk's fault. Just as a viewer, I was watching it going,
yeah,
this is the spot. Why isn't Punk getting ready? So if Bronson Reed's getting punished for that, no. Homeboy, look, I like CM Punk.
You knew he was gonna attack you. Get down.
Get down. What are you doing? So that was unfortunate. I'm hoping CM Punk's not hurt for real, because
I know that would suck. That would suck because he's brittle already. We don't want him hurt because he'll be out for another year and whatever.
But to answer your question is, anyone would have been good there if they would have executed it like they did. They executed that perfectly. So if you put it in someone there that can execute it and deliver, yeah, it's believable. Would I have liked another person that's not a powerhouse? Yeah, but we'll see how it goes. A lot of things Triple H does I don't like, but I kind of like him at the end, except for the whole Charlotte Flair thing. I'm still trying to get over that. But everything else he's done is great. But yeah, good match. Good match. The next match was not so good. The next match was a complete disaster. It was Zelina Vega versus Chelsea Green for the United States Championship. And I'm like, oh, Chelsea's going to take it back. We're going to be happy. They made this stable for something. A couple botches later, and I'm not talking botches like they just didn't do the move. Like it was just a very bad professional wrestling match. I don't see how Zelina Vega could walk out of another PLE with this title or another SmackDown. She has to lose this thing immediately. Pull the plug. There's so many other women out there that can make this belt feel more important. Julia, Bakir, other NXT women. I can't think of all their names right now. Women on the mid card right now in the WWE could be doing something with that title. Zelina Vega, I'm sorry, we tried it. She's a great manager, a great mouthpiece, a great ballet. She could be with Andrade.
Great story. You know,
well, it's just she can't do it in the ring.
No,
it's just plain and simple.
No, dude, it was bad. It was bad for sure. And you know, I don't know, and I don't want to, you know, it's on both of them, right? But like, we know what Chelsea Green can do. That she is exactly where she needs to be in the ring. You know, being in that spot. You know, she should have won the belt last night. And to cap it off by one of the worst, if not the worst, 619, whatever the hell that was. It was more like a 3-1 whatever, you know. And then, you know, you don't even make the full move. And what do? You decide just to knee her in the face and a butt break her nose. I'm like, you could have just like done it, hit her, put her back on the rope, and then try again and do a perfect one. You would have saved yourself the match probably. It wouldn't have been that bad. But then you cap it off with that. I agree. You know, I was happy for Zelina Vega to get that. It was a moment. Awesome. You've had your moment, but you're not living up to it. It's time to drop it. You know, whether that's to Chelsea Green, you brought up some great names. You know, Julia's doing really good right now. She's going to be in Money in the Bank, right? I think she won the qualifying match. She'll be in the Money in the Bank. So they're all right there. Again, I thought it was going to be Chelsea Green. Should be Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green should be the United States champion. I salute Chelsea Green.
Jade Cargill versus Naomi for that title would be so cool.
Oh, 100%. 100 Naomi. No. That's the name.
It just makes too much sense. I don't know what we're doing with this title. Both mid-card titles. I don't know what we're doing with them. So, but yeah, that match that happened. So we'll move on to the next match. What was the next match? What was the third match? I think it was the John Cena Ron Cena match.
Ron Cena versus John Cena. Yeah. Ron Killings or R-Truth, you know, taking on John Cena. Cena comes out in his normal, you know, darked out entrance, darked out gear. R-Truth comes out as Ron Cena, you know, old school John Cena with the music, the excitement, whatever. I love that guy. He's a legend, dude. I don't care what anybody says. And you go, oh, dude, he's just a character. No, he's not. Go look up his history. This dude's done it all, man. And he's had some. They said he's 2-1 against John Cena, and they've had some killer matches. They had a world title match a few years back that was really good. But he comes in and John goes to hit him with the belt, and then John Cena second guesses it, you know, plays up the crowd like, and you know, people are like, "Whoa, wait a second, right. He's turning." There's that little bit. He's been dropping a little bit of hints here and there. There was that post backlash paper match with Randy Orton where the crowd was saying "Thank you, Cena," and he's kind of like looking, and you know, and then you got this little bit of a tease where he's gonna hit with the belt, then he second guesses it, and then he gives the belt, and then Ron Cena. R-Truth is yes. Oh, I got you, bro. And you know, and you know, low blow, kicking the nuts, attitude adjustment. 1, 2, 3. That's a wrap. I know some people, of course, I would have loved to see R-Truth maybe like have that hero moment where not win the title, of course, but not that I always love surprises, but not win the title, but just to have like a thing where it's like, holy crap, can R-Truth actually beat John Cena, and then Cena comes out on top. But again, you know, in reality and the way this is going, R-Truth is here. John Cena is way up here, you know, and John Cena is the ultimate heel. And what's the ultimate heel thing to do? Beat up on the goody two shoes good guy, which is what R-Truth is right now. He's fun. The fans love him. He's the good guy. Everybody loves him. Beat on him. It's cheap heat. Move on. So they do that. And then what happens after that, man? First off, how did you like that? Did you like that it went quick?
Yeah, it should have been that way.
I agree.
Not everything has to be an epic match where he's kicking out of an attitude adjustment or someone's coming out to save our truth. It doesn't have to be that way. Sometimes they're just wrestling matches and John Cena dominates somebody. It was fine for what it was. I didn't expect what we got at the end with John Cena. I know we'll see more of John Cena as the night goes on, but didn't expect that up until the Jey Uso confrontation, which I believe happened before the Drew McIntyre match, if I believe.
Yes, it did.
So John confronted Jay, pretty much told him he's a joke of a champion and he's going to lose to the YouTuber and he's going to ruin wrestling. Like that would ruin wrestling. And it's awesome because that's what the IWC is screaming. Logan Paul can't be a champion. So it would have ruined wrestling. That was a good story. So we'll see more of John Cena later because he told Jey Uso, we'll be keeping a good lookout on you tonight. So that kind of alluded to something. So I was like, what were you expecting with that? Were you expecting, they're just going to fight champion versus champion in some meaningless match at Night of Champions? That's what I thought.
Well, I had heard what the plan may have looked. So I know they were discussing what eventually happened. So when he started teasing that, that's what was on my head. Okay, how are they going to have this presented, and where is it going to go from here? I would have preferred a champion versus champion. That's what I would have preferred.
Okay.
I think it's always cool. Of course, though, then it sucks, at the same time, because if John Cena goes over, that makes Jey Uso look very weak. If Jey Uso goes over, then John Cena looks just as weak. And so, but I would have preferred that over what we're going to get. That's how I feel.
Okay. We'll talk about that later
Yes.
on because I'm the total opposite. Then we have the Drew. Then we have the Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest match, which, again, we are big fans of Damian Priest on this show. Great outing for him. I thought he looked great. I thought everything he did was crisp. I thought this match was almost perfect.
Yep.
This could have been a 5-star match is perfect. This was a good 4-star match.
It was right there. It's pretty good.
The end took away a half a star. To me,
that's what Saturday. To me, it's Saturday Night Main Event. As soon as I saw it, I was like, I forgot what I'm watching. This is Saturday Night Main Event. Jesse Body the Ventura was great. He hit the nail right on the. He was so pissed, and it's so cool. It's refreshing. First off, it's awesome to hear him. I'm a nostalgia freak, so to hear his voice, and it kind of annoys me when the other two are talking. Okay, Jesse. He's like, that's Jesse the Body, dude. What are you doing? Like, I would be laughing it up and joking with him, and he's like, he say this random stuff like a crazy old man, but it's so fun. But no, first off, both these two guys, you and I both picked Drew McIntyre to be Wrestler of the Year last year in our awards show, and Damian Priest was right there with him. Those two guys, I'm with you, DSG. That would be really cool to have the blue cage, instead of the current cage. That would be a pretty good callback. Awesome call. But it was a very good match, and it just it drives me nuts. I can't stand the IWC. I see them more than I want to see them. I know them now. I can, every time I see them, I hate them with a passion. They're not the people. People are okay. I can't stand some people, but the community, the IWC guys, oh, this guy shouldn't be champion. Oh, this guy shouldn't. Why is this guy? Why are they still doing this match? Last night is why they keep doing this match. These guys are magic. These guys are great. Together they're awesome, and they're two of the biggest guys. Here's the top, right? We know John Cena, Jey Uso's there, Seth Rollins, those guys are there, but those guys right there, these two can easily just plug right in. They're the top guy in the business. It was that good. What I found out after was that, or supposedly is that the report is that Drew McIntyre will be off TV for the foreseeable future. So I kind of wrote him off a little bit after this match. What do you think about that?
It's good to see. It's going to sound bad. It's good to see people take time off and you get a fresh break from them, as in they needed some time off anyway. They shouldn't be on the road for 365 days a year. Let them take a vacation, let them get right, let them get healthy, and let us miss them, right? There's something awesome about a comeback every single time. Like, oh, we haven't seen Drew in 3 months. Well, nice. He's refreshed. Who's he going to feud with? Because if he just came back on SmackDown, He just got laid out by Priest. Any logical person will say, well, he's going to go after Priest again.
Yeah.
They need some kind of break to blow it off so we can move on to somebody else eventually. So I'm okay with it. They have enough stars on SmackDown and Raw to fill in the holes. They have so many people just waiting to get that top spot, to get that spot to fill in until Drew comes back. So I'm okay with it. I didn't like the end though, man. I'm telling you, I did not like the end of the match. I didn't like how Priest just walked away. Like how it looked like he just pitied. Like, I pity this guy. I don't want to do anything else to him.
It looked like I don't need to pin you 1 through 3 or do this. I just had to beat the hell out of you, and now I'm done with you. Like, you're not worth the pin. That's where I hate it too. I no, win the match, but that's what it felt to me. Like, kind of like, I don't need to beat you. You know, you're not worth me pinning you anymore. I'm just leaving. I'm done with you. Like, that's the ultimate sign of disrespect to Drew McIntyre. Like, I'm not even going to pin you. You know, you're not worth it. Walk out of the ring, and now you're done with Drew McIntyre. And I'm obviously disrespecting the way of character wise, like, you know,
right.
So it's kind of like the ultimate, or kind of like the last kind of nail in the coffin, spit on you type of situation where like these two hate each other. And so I didn't like it, but I get it.
I get it too. But good match. Next match, we had the main event. It started with 7 minutes to go in the end of the show. To the end of the show, we had most of this match in commercial break. Did you notice this? We had the majority of this match in the commercial break. It's uncalled for. Mm-hmm. It's disrespectful to Logan Paul, the fans, Jey Uso. Why have a women's match full of botches that wasted so much time when we could have had 10 more minutes of this match? I don't get it, dude. I'll never get it. You give the main event of the show was 7 minutes long, and the majority of it was in commercials. But we got a John Cena run-in. We got a rushed ending with Cody Rhodes coming out, giving John Cena the crossroads, and then Jey Uso spears Logan Paul. 1, 2, 3. Cody gets the mic immediately, screams, "You got a friend, I got a friend, tag team match." And the show abruptly ends. What a mess. What a mess. Was that not a mess? It was a complete mess.
It was a cluster. First off, you know, big, right? Cody comes back. Here comes the quarterback. Oh, wasn't gone long enough. You know, I didn't miss him yet. I haven't missed him yet. You know, but here he comes. So, and he makes the save. Crossroads to John Cena. John Cena, you know, he's done really good as a classic heel. I do enjoy. I'm enjoying Cena's heel run. What I don't like is the delayed punches. You know, he block. You know, it's like, dude, just swing. If he doesn't block, you beat the shit out of him. Sorry, you know what I mean? That's how I kind of feel. It's like, but you know, here comes Cody, saves the day. Whatever. We figured that would be the case. Or that we figured that, you know, John is going to interfere. Maybe that cost the match and whatever. But John interferes, hits, you know, referee gets hit. Here comes Cody, does the run in, and then they're both standing tall in the ring after pinning Logan Paul. Then he goes, you know, you have a partner, I have a partner. How about we'll meet each other at Money in the Bank in 2 weeks. Oh my gosh, in 2 weeks. And then the show ends. What? Wait, what? Did John Cena agree to this? Like, did they say, oh, we're going to be partners? I don't know. And you know, it wasn't Halloween Havoc. You know, it didn't end right at the match, but it kind of did. You don't show half the match. You end it early, and then you rush the close off. What happened? Where was the F up? Like, I would love to know what match ran long. Obviously, we could easily say get rid of the Chelsea Green, Selena Vega match, but that match didn't go too long. It was ugly. It didn't go long. So who messed up? Because that should not be the way it went, because it doesn't get me going like, I cannot wait to see Jey and Cody versus John Cena and Logan Paul. Money in the Bank. We're wasting one of the last John Cena matches on that. I don't want to see that. And what happens right after that? Cody wins the belt again because now he's back in the feud with John Cena. I think it's I don't like it. I'm pulling a Josh Kimmel. I didn't like it.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull a Bobby and go. I don't mind the match. I don't mind the match. The WWE title does not need to be defended every single pay per view. And the World Heavyweight Championship, the Money in the Bank needs to be the most important thing on that show. So it needs to be highlighted and made important. When you have 2 Money in the Bank matches and 2 WWE title matches, one being the World Heavyweight Championship, one being the WWE title, you have 4 major championships per se on the line. So it becomes watered down. You become AEW at that point. If everything is so important, then nothing's important. So I'm 1000% okay with them just highlighting these 2 Money in the Bank matches, open the show and end the show with these 2 amazing matches, and put a tag team match in there and maybe a women's, mid-card match or a women's World Heavyweight Championship. I don't know what you want to do. No, you can't do the women's championship match because that'd be the same thing as a men's championship. So no. But yeah, I'm okay with this, Bobby. Why you hate it because it's the opponents or the kind of, like you just want to? Who would you prefer? What would you do here? Coming off of Saturday Night Main Event, where everyone's already in their feuds, what else would you do with Cena?
You could save him. I mean, you don't have to have him at Money in the Bank. You could use him for another. Give him one of those type of feuds or the match that you might not be able to see. I don't know, dude. I think it's too early for Cody to be involved in that again. And I'm not interested in seeing Jay and Logan Paul tagged with Cena. I would rather see, like I told you, I don't mind seeing a champion versus champion match. I think that's cool. We get to see a Jay versus John Cena. And yeah, this is a way to make Jay look more even legitimate. He doesn't have to win the belt. It's on not a title match with Jey Uso beating a John Cena somehow, some way would look great on Jay, and John's a heel, so it wouldn't hurt. But I don't know, man. I'm very underwhelmed by the potential of that match, and I get your point. I think that's fair, and I could ride with that. It doesn't need to be defended every pay per view, and Money in the Bank should be the main focal point. And I expect it to be a great match in regards of Money in the Bank, just because it is John Cena. This is not a Vince McMahon. This is Triple H. It's not a Vince McMahon Money in the Bank. So I expect it to be good. I'm excited to see who may win it. So I'm with you on that part. I don't know, dude. I'm not. You could have mixed around some other people and it would have been a better tag match, in my opinion.
I have one proposal. Instead of Gunther coming out announcing that he gets the winner of Jey Uso and Logan Paul on May 9th on Raw. Say, instead, and just change the storyline a little bit. I've talked to Nick Aldis. I've talked to Adam Pearce. I've worked out a way. I'm moving over to SmackDown, and I'm going to face the winner of whatever. And it turns out to be John Cena. Let's just say that's a better match for Money in the Bank. John Cena and Gunther, if you wanted to get him a title shot and make it something different. That's the only thing, because everyone else is tied up. CM Punk's tied up with Paul Heyman. Seth Rollins is tied up with Sami Zayn and Paul Heyman and CM Punk. Drew McIntyre's written off of TV. LA Knight's going on with the Solo Sikoa and the Fatu's. Everyone's tied up. There's no one for Cena at the moment. Nobody. Who could you don't want to mess a storyline up by taking that person out and going, okay, we're just going to take you out real quick, put you against Cena, and then once you're done with Cena, go right back to your story. It just wouldn't make sense. It would disrupt too many things. So I'm okay with this. That's why I'm okay with this tag team match.
Fair enough.
There we go. Well, that's the end of Saturday Night Main Event. It was a decent, like I said, decent show. It's a 2-hour Peacock special. They're quarterly, so it's not. People expect PLE qualities from these. They're just going to be regular matches, which are fine.
That's right. That is.
Speaking of PLEs, though, WWE pulled a fast one on New Orleans, the city.
Oh
of New
my
Orleans.
God!
I hear from my buddy Chris Koffler, co-host of Real Talk Wrestling, text me, "Hey, they're pulling out of New Orleans." I'm like, I was thinking about driving up to New Orleans. That sucks. Yeah, he's like, yeah, they're pulling out, and he goes, they're gonna go to Vegas. They were just at Vegas. That crowd sucked.
Mm-hmm.
So come to find out, they're violating the contract. They're probably going to get paid more money to go back to Vegas, and they're continuing to say that they're going to be make Vegas a more normal thing. So they're taking WrestleMania from the traveling circus it was to maybe having a residency, kind of like how UCF, UFC has, where they're always in Vegas, they're always in Saudi, they're always in the same venues. How would you, as a casual, a hardcore wrestling fan, IWC member Bobby Melendez,
Yeah, right.
like that they're taking WrestleMania away from the country and just pinking it in one spot? I don't like it, but I want to hear from you.
I hate it. I hate it. I mean, I get it. I mean, first off, Las Vegas wants a destination, sporting destination event, which it makes sense for WrestleMania. I get it for WWE because it's money, TKO, sorry. It's money. Obviously, Las Vegas is pumping out a lot of money. They made a lot of money going there. Obviously, I hate it because the fans were not good. I hate it for the casual fan, not the IWC, because they don't go. They just piss. They just yell in their mom's basement or their grandparents' basement in their whitey tidies about why wrestling sucks, and if they ran it, it was better. But for the casual fan, I think it's a huge loss, because if it was like that when I was younger, I never would have got to see a WrestleMania. I went to the WrestleMania Orlando with Ric Flair versus Shawn Michaels, and I got to see quote unquote Ric Flair's last match. I went to a WrestleMania. I could say that. That's a pretty cool damn thing to say for a wrestling fan. I've been there. And, now the average Joe, the casual fan who doesn't have money to go flying up to Las Vegas every year or to whatever year they may, or like, someone like you or me who have kids, if I want to take my son or my daughter to a WrestleMania, I won't really have that opportunity unless they decide to finally go somewhere. And it's, of course the tickets are skyrocketing now, but still it takes away that opportunity. Now you got to not only buy $5,000 ticket or whatever the hell, probably each, or however much you're going to pay. Now you got to pay an extra $5,000 to buy the plane tickets, to book the hotel room and whatever, plus dinner. And for that couple of days that you're there, that's a lot of money. So it's it's the highest bid wins, DSG says, which is true. The highest bid wins. Las Vegas wins. But that's what's going to happen with the fans. The fans with the biggest paychecks are going to be able to go, and that's what sucks. And so it sucks. But I will say DSG's right on the money. This is the third comment there. Huge opportunity for AEW. They're going to WWE's going to start limiting live shows. And that's again another miss for the casual fan. Again, in Nashville, Tampa, WWE live. No, they're going to start cutting that unless it's a show. So that's another one where the tickets are very cheap. You're not going to be able to go now. You can't take your kids. You can't do that. So companies like AEW, TNA, which the last show TNA just did, it looked packed. They were in a bigger arena. They're starting to sell more tickets. That partnership is working out with WWE. This is huge. That's a huge opportunity for AEW to travel, to gain, the fans that can't go to WWE, can't afford a WWE ticket, they go to AEW and watch AEW or TNA. Huge for them. But as a wrestling fan, WrestleMania wise, I don't like it. I hate it. Sucks.
Yep. In Triple H, and I'm sure they know, they're not going to be hot forever, and they can't charge these prices forever. We're not going to always just pay them. I was talking to my buddy last night about T-shirt sales. Someone said in the chat they got the Ron Cena shirt. I mean, when John Cena came out in the creamsicle orange, I'm not a Buccaneers fan whatsoever. I live in Tampa, but when I see a creamsicle shirt, like, I do wear them. I like them. I love those shirts. I love the Buccaneers creamsicles. So when Cena came out with that creamsicle shirt, I'm like, all right, WWEshop.com, $35, bro. Guys, what are we, freaking Express? What are we doing here? Like, it's a wrestling T-shirt.
And that's what sucks too. You see $35 for a T-shirt. In reality, that shirt probably costs $5 to $10 to make. And I get it, you can't sell it for $5 to $10, but $20, $15. Like, let's be real. Like, it's probably it's a T-shirt, so probably really $5 some odd cost. 10%. To me, that's fair. 15%, whatever you want. But to go that much, $35 for a T-shirt. I mean, let me tell you something. I'll just say this: Amazon has a lot of good shirts for the $15, and you get it's not the brand. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, if it's a shirt I actually freaking like and it's like a one that I like, oh, dude, I could wear that forever. I'll buy it, but I'm not gonna buy a creamsicle.
I'll tell you what though, if they have a Dolphins teal, if he went to Miami, I'd buy that shirt for 30.
Oh, for sure.
It's all about perspective. It's all about perspective. What you said. If you're gonna, I just buy that John Cena creamsicle shirt to wear maybe with one or two outfits.
You see, here's the thing though, too. It's John Cena. That shirt's gonna mean something forever. You know what I mean? It's not like it's the same thing as when you buy a jersey off your football team, or the Lightning, the hockey, or whatever. You should get a player that you know is going to be there for a while, or that's a future Hall of Famer, or whatever. But if you go and you buy, let's go with Dolphins, right? Dolphins draft, or whomever. Let's go. I got a Tyreek Hill jersey there that I got recently, but I got it on Whatnot for like $10. And it's stitched. It's nice. It looks great. But you could tell because of the color, that it's not, like an authentic, but it is. But you see, that's safe, right? You spend $10, $50 on it. Who cares? Now, if you're going to go online, NFL.com, Fanatics.com, whatever it is, $200 jersey stitched Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill's only there for 4 years, and then you have this drama and whatever. And it's like, I'm just giving an example of him, but it's like, then that jersey's going to suck because you're not really going to want to wear that one after a while. You're like, Now, Jason Taylor, Zach Thomas, Ric Flair, John Cena, Hulk, well, not Hulk, but you know what I'm saying? No, I'm just playing. But, there's some Hulkamania. Okay. Those are the ones that last through the ages, but it's like, Ron Cena is great because that's a fun shirt. It's our truth. He's fair. He's been around forever. You know what I mean? But give me a wrestler guy that he was high, and then you buy a shirt and now he's no man's land. Like he's like, dude.
Oh yeah, like no disrespect. No disrespect to Will Ospreay. Well, I'm saying like Sheamus, right? Who's buying a $35 Sheamus shirt? Like no disrespect to Sheamus. I love Sheamus.
Yeah.
Who's buying a $35 Sheamus shirt? Nobody.
Not me. Yeah.
Nobody. So I don't know.
Maybe somebody in Ireland.
Yeet. We'll be all yeeting in disapproval in like 3 years. Remember when we bought the Yeet shirt for $50? Because it's not gonna be a thing. It's not gonna last that long, guys. Jey Uso's on the way down. Sell. It's gonna happen soon. He's gonna lose that title and he'll never touch it again. It's okay though. He had a good run.
He had his chance. I mean, he had his run. Yeah, I mean, no one will ever be able to take it away from Jey Uso. You were the world champion. Like
he deserves it.
Yeah. Bobby bought the whole set, the shirt, the towel. Yep. I didn't see that.
Can't, though.
That's great.
Damn right, he did. But okay,
Mark, bro.
We do have AEW Double or Nothing tonight. I'm honestly 50-50 on buying this because I don't work tomorrow. I'm 50-50. I don't know any of the matches. I'm not even. I know nothing.
Ask you, what's the one you're most excited about? What match?
I know Mercedes Moné is wrestling Jamie Hayter for the Owen Hart Cup final. I know Will Ospreay is going against Hangman Page. That's why. That's worth $50 in my opinion. Hangman Page and Ospreay is worth $50 alone. So if I buy it, no matter what, that match is going to be killer. They're having an Anarchy in the Arena match between what Jim Cornette calls it, the Boar Horsemen, with Moxley, Cesaro, all those goofballs versus all the good guys you could think of on the AEW side. It's trash. It's miserable. And that's all I know. So it's going to be a fun show, I guess. I don't know. I'm into it.
Yeah. So, but Hangman Page, Will Ospreay, Mariah May is, I think, going to become a free agent soon. I did see that. I know WWE is very interested in her.
Oh yeah, she's a stud.
And
she's great.
I think also we have NXT Battleground today as well. Tonight. Joe Hendry. Yeah, Joe Hendry versus is it Trick Williams? I think he's going against.
Yeah, they had a classic sing off. I've been watching NXT, brother.
Really? Whoa!
I've been watching because of Joe Hendry. It's not because of any NXT talent. Because when listen, I've been thinking about this. I've been thinking about this for a long time. You know, I used to love watching like Kane wrestle on Raw. I knew all his moves. Oh, he's gonna go on the top rope. Oh, he's gonna miss. They all have their things they do. If you're just a TikTok fan and you believe in Joe Hendry, like, and you just watch his videos, no, watch him wrestle. Enjoy him right now because he's on national television, and it's only going to go up from here. And that goes for any wrestler that you love. We need to watch these guys.
Elwood. Bobby got a tomato red Cam Smith jersey. That's a collectible. Yeah, all right. But that's a good point, Elwood. Cam Smith, right? Oh, I'm gonna go buy the Cam Smith jersey. He's our first pick. And now it's like, oh, dude. Well, we'll see. Maybe he surprises some people.
So the point is, guys, Joe Hendry will be on tonight. I'll be watching. I don't know when Battleground is though. I have no idea what time.
That would be a fun segment for our show. What shirts are safe to buy and what are not? What merch is safe to buy and what is not? Is a Joe Hendry's shirt safe to buy?
Yes.
Okay.
Because that would have like a niche.
What would it like? I think I agree with you. I think that would be a fun shirt always to have, even if he kind of went to the obscure, unless he became Chris Benoit, God forbid, knock on wood. You know, that would be a shirt to have. I think Yeet is the same one. I know you said sell on Yeet, but or sell on Jey Uso, but I think a Yeet shirt would be is going to stand the test of time. That's like what is it? Yeet, you know,
like. I like to go on prowrestlingtees.com and get the mystery shirts. They're really cheap. I got a Kevin Steen shirt, and I got a Mick Foley shirt. Like, they do have good shirts. That's what we should do. We should both order like 5 mystery boxes and open them on the show.
Yeah, I think I like that.
Unboxing show with no holds barred.
Aren't they? Yeah, that's right. Aren't they mainly AEW?
No, it's all like so. Oh yeah, they're mainly AEW, but like if you do a mystery box, you can get any classic one. So like, CM Punk was selling merchandise on there before he even went on AEW.
Okay,
anyone could put their merchandise on there.
I know that.
Yeah, so you can get like Randy Savage stuff. You can get some.
That would be pretty cool.
WWE stuff. Yeah, I got a Mick Foley shirt. I got a Mick Foley. It was the 4 faces of Foley, and it's Cactus Jack, Dude Love, and Mankind. And then
how much a mystery box go for?
I think they're like $8 to $10.
Damn.
I think I'm not sure. I haven't checked in a while.
Well,
prowrestlingtees.com.
I got my phone right here. Let's take a look.
I like the mystery
cheap
bag.
Plug for prowrestlingtees.com.
I mean, they make some good shirts and they're pretty cheap. And
all the money,
most of the money goes straight to the wrestler. So supporting the wrestler right on.
Karrion Kross, $34.99 t-shirt
on prowrestlingtees.com.
No, that's WWE shop.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy a Karrion Kross shirt for $35.
No.
There's no way. But I'm super cheap. I don't buy nothing. I don't buy no clothes. They're either gifted to me or I go to the department store and they gotta be on clearance.
Yeah, I always talk myself. I'll put it in if I really like one, I'll put it in the cart and I'm like looking and I'm thinking about it and I end up like talking myself out of it. And then I'm nervous to say to my wife, "Hey, I'm gonna buy myself a shirt," and she's like, "How much?" And and I just take it off. I'm like, never mind. Like, fuck it. Sorry, forget it. It's taking a year to open up, so I can't open it for whatever reason. Josh gave us a bad site. They closed, I think.
They closed down. They closed shop.
As soon as we brought it up, they shut that down. Last shirt I bought was the Vince McMahon mugshot.
Ooh.
That will stand the test of time. Because especially now, I
wouldn't wear that.
I wouldn't wear it either.
I'm not wearing that shirt, dude. There's a couple shirts we will never. Wrestling shirts we should never wear. Britt Baker with the black eye.
That's a great segment. What? Okay, 3 shirts you would never wear wrestling. If there were 3 shirts that you would like, I can't put that on, dude.
I can do that research tonight. I can have them in, brother.
Okay, I think Vince McMahon's one. What's it like? The Rabid Wolverine, maybe. Benoit.
Oh, Chris Benoit shirt. No, those aren't even. They have to be available for purchase, man. No, I really think. Yeah, someone walking around with the Chris Benoit shirt. There's no way. I don't even think they have any. Like those are probably so rare.
She's like, I will wear it. I'll wear that Vince McMahon proud. Dude,
I wonder how many DS Becky Lynch what didn't she go to the mugshot? Didn't she have a mugshot that sold pretty well, the Becky Lynch one? Do you know what I'm talking about? There's a Becky Lynch shirt where either she had a broken nose or she went to jail.
Well, the broken nose thing is famous. I don't know if her shirt, if they sold a shirt like that, but that was the
I
most.
think they did.
That's what skyrocketed her.
I think they
Um,
did, brother.
um, who is it? Dominic Mysterio. Didn't he do one?
Yeah, he did one with Liv. That's a pretty cool shirt, though.
Yeah,
That's a cool shirt. All right, now we're down the rabbit hole of shirts.
that's all right.
Yeah.
I mean, we can do great on. We're doing great on time. I guess that's why now we're just kind of like going off the rails
Well,
here.
everyone sees that, when I host a show, I'm pretty tight with my shows. So little bit of peek behind the curtain with the 24-hour stream over at FN Plus. When that first started over there, Justin's like, Josh, I want to do this, and I said, dude, I don't. So it's all you. I'll show up when I can, if I can, but it's all you, brother. And I was on for 2 hours, and someone's like, hop back on. I hopped on for a little bit more, and so I made the joke of, brother, I don't like going past 45 minutes on a podcast. You expect me to go 24 freaking hours? Ain't no way. So Justin, you are 1000% like the hardest working person that I know in this business at this moment, because what you did was he was on every second. He only walked away to go pee or to go eat or get something to drink.
Yeah, I asked him. I followed up. I was coming in and out. Went in at 2 a.m. Saw you were on there playing college football, and I was about to message you, going, "Damn, dude," because I know you're, And then finally dozed off. Woke up probably like around 9 or something. 8, 9, 10 your Eastern time, 9 whatever my time, and I tuned in, and there's Justin still talking with 2 other guys, and I'm like, dude, did you get any sleep? And he's like, hey, Bobby. He's like, I took 10 minutes on the floor. I was like, damn, good for you, bro. That's awesome. So he's probably still, well, no, he hearted one of my comments. I texted him about
he's up.
I texted him about FTSN Extra, and he hearted it. So I was like, okay, he's up. I was like,
we texted him. So that just leads me to want to plug one more thing. I am going to be maybe live tomorrow for my Fantasy Now Plus show. I am giving Justin the day off because he deserves it. He's my co-host on Mondays. Bobby, what are you doing? Are you busy tomorrow? Can you co-host with me? I'm putting you on the spot.
Yes. What time?
12 Eastern.
Yeah. F it. Sure. I don't think I have anything going on. I'll text you just in case, but no, hell yeah, let's do it.
Okay, because I don't want Justin to come on. He said his wife would kill him. He needs a week off. So tomorrow, Monday holiday, if you're around 12 o'clock, we'll be live talking Dynasty wide receiver rankings. We have our rankings for Fantasy Now Plus. If you enjoyed the 24-hour stream, hit our website up. We do have some information, some articles. Our rankings are up there as well, and how to get into Super League and how to donate to, of course, the cause that we were promoting on that 24-hour stream. That's enough plugging for me, Bobby. Do you have anything going on with you?
Again, just I'll be on again this evening, actually, at 8 p.m. Eastern time, I believe, with Alex. We'll be doing East 10th Street Boys. We'll be talking the Dolphins, Jalen Ramsey trade updates, where do Miami Dolphins stand on that as we get closer past June 1st. Talking Miami Heat, Ice Cube kind of led it going in on Pat Riley haters, and I absolutely 100% agree with him. And then we watched the Brett Favre documentary. I told Alex, watch the Brett Favre documentary on Netflix. We all grew up, I think most of us grew up loving watching Brett Favre play quarterback. He was my favorite. Dan Marino, Brett Favre, Rich Gannon. Those were my guys. Like, I love the big arm quarterbacks, and that was my dude. Everybody was into Michael Vick, whatever, because of the running and everything. I was into the classic guy, and Brett Favre was one of my guys. And so watching this documentary was a punch in the gut. And it talks about the sex scandal, the sex scandal with the Jets, and then you find out more stuff, and then of course the before the Bronx Tale, and then but he did watch Favre. He told me he was watching it, so you can get on him tonight. But we're gonna talk about that, man, and because it's just like, man, the fall from grace. Like, how does that impact? Obviously, Packer fans are gonna love him forever, and I get it. But it's no.
One of my best friends is a massive Packer fan. Can't stand him. He also denounced Aaron Rodgers as well. So I think it's more of a "you left my team" kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
I really do think that.
I know. But they brought that up.
Well, he also acknowledges how much of a dirtbag Favre is.
Well,
But
and there was some interesting things. I don't know if you've seen it yet. If you haven't, go check it
yet.
out. But like this guy who covers the Packers, covers Favre's or covered them. You know, when his wife had cancer, you know, they asked this reporter or this journalist, like, hey, write a story about Favre being the family man, Favre the family man. And this guy's been covering Brett Favre since he came out of college, and he's seen him with the at the bars with the girls and everything else, saw how he was, and he's like. And he said that he responded to his editor. He looked at him and goes, I don't write fiction. And that was early on. And I was like, damn. So I don't know, dude. It gives you a perspective. So we're going to talk about all that and some more. And of course, with FTSN, like I said, dude, we're growing. Which is just an exciting thing to say. You know, we got new people joining us that want to join FTSN and do content. Our guys, like you just brought up Justin. You know, you're right there, bro. But Justin, one of the hardest working people in the room. We got a lot of those guys. And I've said this. I was talking to Tati yesterday. I mean, I can't wait till, God willing, this thing grows and we make it, because I was like, I know exactly who I'm saying. Hey, you guys are rolling in. Let's go. The Kimmels, the Wingates, the Burleys, those guys, all of them, Evans, we'd have such an awesome team all the way around. And guys, so we're continuing to grow. So now we have FTSN Extra. So DSG, Elwood, everyone who's watching, Justin, Toner, Nick, Kat, do me a favor. If you go to FTSN on YouTube, hit the additional information, wherever that little button is right under, you'll see FTSN Extra. Go subscribe to that channel, because we're going to have some extra stuff. We're going to have not just extra stuff, just new original content, same FTSN flavor, some current content that was on FTSN is going to be on FTSN Extra. You'll see Josh, you'll see myself, you'll see all these. I'm just so excited. So that's what we got going on here. I'll be back on later tonight, and I'll be back on at noon tomorrow for Fantasy Now. I'll say it right now. I'm just going to be riding Josh's coattails, just reacting to all that. He's the expert on this, but I'm going to do my best not to let him be the expert. I'm just going to torture the hell out of him. Yeah, I have T. Higgins as my number one. What? How do you have that, bro? What? Who do you have? I mean, I don't know, but I don't have T. Higgins. No, but but anyway, yeah, man, that's it, guys. I appreciate you all. I'll see you again tonight. Josh, that's it, brother. Wrapping it up.
Peace out, man. Like the show, guys. Please like it. Peace.
Like and subscribe. Peace out. I'll see you guys.